In this video we're taking a look at Azhir Cave in Modern Warfare 2019 and we're starting right now. Thanks for tuning in. My name is RJ McIntyre, the Scottish Gamer, and I create Call of Duty hints, tips and montage videos to help you improve your game. If you want to hear all of the latest news when it comes to Call of Duty's Modern Warfare in 2019, then start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. In this video I'm going to share with you all of my hints and tips about Azhir Cave in this year's Modern Warfare to make sure that you get the best possible start when it comes to launch on October 25th. So let's start off by taking a look at Modern Warfare this year. So Call of Duty Modern Warfare has been in our lives for a considerable amount of time. However, this year a complete reanimation has taken place, where the original developers of Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2 have been brought back to deliver upon the best Call of Duty game ever. Developers have pledged to make this the most realistic Call of Duty game in franchise history. In order to do this, the developers went out and got real-life combat experience by firing every single weapon in the game at real-life firing ranges, which enabled the developers to have a really clear understanding of how the weapons handled, how they fired, and how they could make this even more realistic within the game. They then took this market research to the next level by speaking to real-life military organisations around the world to discover how they would set up and organise real-life military operations. Using this intelligence, the developers were able to create real-life scenarios within the game. This meant that all the operations available were as realistic as humanly possible. This has led to some wild accusations from media outlets around the globe saying that this game is far too realistic for a game and that it should be censored and brought back into the world of reality, despite every gamer on the planet screaming from the rooftops to just have a more realistic combat game. What makes Modern Warfare even better is the fact that the developers went out and spoke to both current acting and retired military veterans to get real life experience of the emotional turmoil within combat and to bring all of those emotional elements into the gameplay. When you tie all of that together, it brings to life Modern Warfare 2019, the most highly anticipated Call of Duty game ever. Azhir Cave is a product of all of that military expertise brought into the game. Not every operation takes place during the day in noonday sun in a controlled environment. Sometimes operations have to take place within towns and cities, within caves, and more often than not they take place at night time. Modern Warfare has taken advantage of the brand new military technologies available to real life operatives around the globe and brought that into Modern Warfare, such as laser sights, night vision goggles, the late cutting edge armour and the latest weaponry, so all of that is available in your arsenal within this game. To further enhance this feeling of being on a real life operation, they have removed things such as the HUD minimap that gamers have relied on for so long within the Call of Duty franchise. Operatives out in the field don't have a radar map attached to their tactical helmets, so why should we in gameplay? You have to rely on your senses, your heightened abilities, and your weaponry and equipment. Just like in a real life operation, communication is vital within this game because you can no longer look to the HUD minimap to find out where your team is spawning and what direction they're playing in. You now have to do that via communication. This has had some really mixed reviews online. Looking at some popular Reddit forums, gamers are split on the decision of whether this was a good choice or a bad choice by the Call of Duty developers. Some players believe that this will make the game far more difficult, while others, such as myself, believe that this only enhances the experience and makes the game even more realistic. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are. Would you prefer to have the HUD minimap at all times? Or as it is in Modern Warfare 2019, where it's only available as a kill streak? Now let's take a look at Azhir Cave in just a little bit more detail. As I've already mentioned, the developers of Call of Duty Modern Warfare pledged to make the most realistic game possible. The way they set about this was to ask themselves one very specific question, and that question was, what does Modern Warfare mean in 2019? The answer to that question was very simple. At any moment, at any place around the globe, the area could become a battlefield, simply through the constructs of terrorism. That means that the overall result could mean that your own back garden could become a battlefield at any moment in time. And that realistic approach, and bringing the battlefield to your own backyard, is what the elemental foundation is of Call of Duty's Modern Warfare 2019. Azhir Cave is based on a small village with an underlying cave sprawling network that allows you to move from one end of the village to the other. It reminds me of a small mining town, potentially in a Middle Eastern country. The map can be played in both daytime and nighttime modes. However, once inside the cave, it has a nighttime feel regardless. Azhir Cave is one of the maps that truly envisions the caption of Going Dark, which is Modern Warfare's strapline for this game. Going Dark envisions the ability to utilise night vision goggles and laser sights to conduct real-life military operations. The overlying village gives a complete different feel to the map than when inside the cave. The village is a numerous network of buildings that have both high-rise and low building entrances, which gives the ability to create a power position overlooking one of the cave entrances, or to hold down key terrain to stop a flanking manoeuvre from the opposing team. Once inside the cave, there is such an array of tunnels that allow you to consistently flank enemy teams and overpower enemy positions. When you couple this with the amount of vehicles lying about inside the tunnels, or also the amount of rock coverage there actually is, there is so many ambush positions within inside the cave that the cave's almost a death trap. When standing in the cave mouth, you can also notice the silhouettes of players, so there's no ability to just sit and camp at cave entrances without taking shelter in one of the village buildings. Azhir Cave is very much a close combat map, and that's because whether you're running through the cave or running through the buildings within the village, there is so many close encounters with enemy players that it's almost pointless to use anything other than an SMG or a shotgun weapon. Once again, this brings back the realistic element of the game, where you're constantly under threat while on an operation. That's what makes Modern Warfare so realistic, is the fact that you can't just run and gun anymore. You actually have to use every arsenal at your disposal, and that includes a good pair of audio headsets to allow you to listen out for player movement. This again adds to the realism of the game. While being on an operation, you're constantly under threat. There is no safe place to just sit and hide. You must actively engage your enemy and win. Azhir Cave Night version provides its own level of difficulty simply by having to be more aware of your surroundings and your movements. Just like a real-life operative, your laser sight would give away your position. In the game, this is made easier by only being made visible when aiming down sight. Comparing Azhir Cave to other maps within Modern Warfare 2019, I would have to say that this map is my favourite. I believe that it brings to life the realistic goal of Modern Warfare, it also encouples a real tactical element that we will not see in any other map this year. Considering the dark version is just so dark, it's outstanding how well the developers have done when it comes to the graphical elements of this game. Everything is clearly visible that should be clearly visible, and everything is dark that should be dark, bringing some real hazards into the game. With all of these changes in Call of Duty this year, it's never been more important to understand and truly know every single map in the game prior to launch on October 25th. So this year I've created a map reveal and review of every single map in this game, and that includes all 8, including the 2 vs 2 gunfight maps, Stack, King and Pine, and all of the multiplayer maps available in the game. In order to see those, just look for the links in the description, the pinned comment, or tap on the cards on the top of the screen right now. Thanks so much for watching this video. I've also linked the playlist on screen which has everything you need to know about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. Thanks for watching, happy gaming, and I'll see you next time.